Hey, you think you can just walk away from me? Oh my God, you're pathetic. Shoppers paused mid-step, their eyes wide as murmurs spread through the grocery store. He didn't notice. He was too proud, too convinced she was still broken. But she didn't flinch. Not anymore. She stood calm, her spine straight, watching him unravel while hiding a truth he would never imagine. She wasn't just surviving. She was the CEO of his biggest competitor. Minutes later, a sleek black car pulled up outside. Out stepped her assistant, sharp-suited, carrying documents that would change everything. The same people who had pitted her now stared in confusion. This is the story of abandonment, arrogance, and the ultimate rise from ashes. What do you think happened when he realized who she had become? Hello, family. Welcome back. Before we begin, I have a small but heartfelt request. Please subscribe. Your support keeps these stories alive. Every time you click that button, you're helping us share voices that deserve to be heard and stories that inspire change. And in the comments, tell us where you're watching from. Because together, we are not just telling stories, we are building hope. Natalie stepped into the small apartment with the kind of exhaustion that lives in your bones. The kids were already asleep in the back room, their breathing soft and steady. She set down the grocery bags quietly, careful not to wake them. 3 years had passed since Marcus walked out. 3 years since he said he needed freedom, needed space, needed a life that didn't include diapers and school fees and the mundane weight of responsibility. He left her with 2 children, a stack of unpaid bills, and a reputation in their social circle as the woman who couldn't keep her husband interested. Let them think that. It made rebuilding easier when no one was watching. She pulled out her laptop and opened the financial reports from her company. Her company. The words still felt surreal sometimes. She had started small, consulting from home, helping startups refine their strategies. Then one client became 5. 5 became 20. 20 became an entire firm. Now she ran Apex Strategy Group, a consulting powerhouse that had quietly begun taking clients from Marcus's own company, Vanguard Solutions. He didn't know yet, but he would. Her phone buzzed. A message from her assistant, Rebecca. The Colton account is ours. They signed this afternoon. Natalie allowed herself a small smile. Colton Industries had been Vanguard's biggest client for a decade. Not anymore. She typed back, "Good work. Prepare the onboarding materials." Rebecca replied with a thumbs-up emoji. Natalie closed the laptop and walked to the window. The city stretched out before her, glowing and indifferent. Somewhere out there, Marcus was living his freedom, dating younger women, driving expensive cars, pretending he had built his success alone. He had forgotten one important detail. She had been the strategist behind half his major deals. She knew his playbook. She knew his weaknesses. And now she was using that knowledge to dismantle everything he thought was untouchable. The next morning, Natalie dropped the kids at school and headed to her office. The building wasn't flashy, but it was hers. Clean lines, large windows, a team of brilliant minds who respected her not because of her last name, but because of her work. Rebecca met her at the elevator. "Morning. We have a problem." Natalie raised an eyebrow. "What kind?" Marcus called. "He wants a meeting." Natalie's stomach tightened, but her face stayed calm. Did he say why? No, just that it's urgent. He sounded rattled. Good, Natalie thought. Let him be rattled. She stepped into her office and set down her bag. "Schedule it for tomorrow, 2 p.m. Here." Rebecca hesitated. "Are you sure? You don't want neutral ground?" Natalie met her eyes. "I want him on my territory." Rebecca nodded slowly, understanding. "I'll confirm." The rest of the day passed in a blur of meetings and emails. But Natalie's mind kept circling back to Marcus. She hadn't seen him in over a year. The last time was at a school event. He showed up late, stayed for 10 minutes, and left without saying goodbye to the kids. They cried that night. She held them and promised they would be okay. And they were. Better than okay. The next afternoon, Marcus arrived exactly on time. Natalie watched from her office window as he stepped out of his car, adjusting his tie, scanning the building like he was trying to figure out how she could afford it. Rebecca escorted him upstairs. Natalie stayed seated behind her desk, fingers laced, expression neutral. Marcus walked in, and for a moment, neither of them spoke. He looked older, tired around the eyes. His confidence was still there, but it had cracks now. "Natalie," he said, forcing a smile. "It's been a while." She didn't return the smile. "What do you want, Marcus?" He sat down without being invited. "I heard you've been busy." She waited. He shifted in his chair. "You took the Colton account." "That's my account." "Was your account," she corrected. "They chose to leave." His jaw tightened. "You poached them." "I offered them better service." "There's a difference." Marcus leaned forward. "Natalie, this isn't a game. You're going after my clients deliberately. You're trying to destroy what I built." She tilted her head. "What you built, or what we built." His face flushed. "That's not fair." "You walked away," she said quietly. "You left me with 2 kids, no income, and a name people whispered about at parties. You don't get to talk to me about fair." Marcus rubbed his face. "I made mistakes. I know that. But this is vindictive." Natalie stood, her voice calm but sharp. "This is business. You taught me that. Remember, when you closed deals without telling me? When you used my strategies and put your name on them? When you made me feel small so you could feel big?" He looked away. "I didn't come here to fight." "Then why did you come?" she asked. He met her eyes. "I want you to stop." Natalie almost laughed. "Stop what? Succeeding?" He stood, frustration boiling over. "You're taking everything from me." She stepped around the desk, standing face to face with him. "You took everything from me first, and I rebuilt. Alone. So no, Marcus. I won't stop." His hands clenched. "You'll regret this." She didn't blink. "Leave. Now." For a moment, he looked like he wanted to say more, but he didn't. He turned and walked out, slamming the door behind him. Natalie exhaled slowly, her heart pounding. Rebecca appeared in the doorway. "You okay?" Natalie nodded. "I'm fine." That night, she couldn't sleep. She kept replaying the conversation, the look on his face, the way he still acted like he was owed something. Her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "You think you're untouchable now?" Natalie stared at the screen. She didn't respond. Another message came through. "You're going to lose everything you stole from me." She blocked the number and set the phone down, but unease settled in her chest. The next morning, Rebecca called her before she even reached the office. "We have a problem." "What now?" "Marcus is spreading rumors. He's telling investors you used insider information to steal his clients." Natalie's grip tightened on the steering wheel. "That's a lie." "I know, but people are listening." Natalie pulled into the parking lot and sat for a moment, thinking. "Then we go public." Rebecca paused. "What?" Natalie stepped out of the car. "We release a statement. We show the timeline. We show that every client chose us based on merit, not manipulation. And we let Marcus explain why he's so threatened by his ex-wife's success." Rebecca hesitated. "That's risky." "So is staying silent," Natalie said. By noon, the statement was live. Professional, factual, devastating. It outlined Apex's growth, the ethical standards they upheld, and a subtle reminder that Natalie had been instrumental in Vanguard's early success, a fact Marcus had never publicly acknowledged. The response was immediate. Some people supported her. Others questioned her motives. But the conversation had shifted. Marcus was no longer the victim. He was the man who abandoned his family and now couldn't handle competition. That evening, Natalie picked up the kids from school. Her daughter, Emma, looked up at her. "Mom, some kids said Daddy's mad at you." Natalie knelt down. "Daddy and I have different jobs now. Sometimes grown-ups disagree about work." "Are you sad?" Emma asked. Natalie smiled gently. "No, sweetheart. I'm okay." Emma hugged her tight. "I'm glad." Later, after the kids were asleep, Natalie sat on the couch with a glass of wine. Her phone buzzed. A message from Marcus. "Can we talk? Face to face. No games." She stared at the message for a long time. Then she typed back. "Tomorrow. My office. 10 a.m. The next morning, Marcus arrived early. Natalie let him wait. When she finally walked into the conference room, he stood immediately. "Thank you for seeing me." She sat down. "You have 10 minutes. He took a breath. "I was wrong." "About what?" she asked. "Everything," he said quietly. "Leaving. Blaming you. Trying to tear you down instead of admitting I'm scared." Natalie watched him carefully. "Scared of what?" "Of you," he admitted. "Of what you've become. You're better at this than I ever was. And I can't stand it." She didn't soften. "That's not my problem." "I know," he said. "But I'm asking you. Please. Can we find a way to coexist without destroying each other?" Natalie leaned back. "You destroyed us, Marcus. I'm just building something new." He nodded slowly. "I deserve that." She stood. "Your 10 minutes are up." Marcus rose, defeated. Before he reached the door, he turned. "For what it's worth, I'm proud of you." Natalie met his eyes. "I don't need your pride. I have my own." He left without another word. Weeks passed. Apex continued to grow. Natalie hired more staff, expanded services, signed bigger clients. Vanguard struggled, bleeding accounts, losing credibility. Marcus tried to recover, but the damage was done. Then one afternoon, Natalie received a call from an investor. "Mrs. Harlow, we'd like to discuss a potential acquisition." "Of what?" she asked. "Vanguard Solutions." Natalie went still. The investor continued. "We believe under new leadership it could be profitable again. We'd like you to consider merging it with Apex." Natalie closed her eyes. The irony was almost too much. "You want me to take over my ex-husband's company?" "We want you to save it," the investor said. "And we're willing to pay you well to do it." Natalie didn't answer immediately. She thought about the years of struggle, the nights she cried alone, the moments she wondered if she'd ever be enough. And now she was being handed the company that once made her feel invisible. "I'll think about it," she said. That night, she told the kids. Emma asked, "Does that mean Daddy works for you now?" Natalie smiled. "Something like that." Her son, Jacob, frowned. "Will he be mad?" "Maybe," Natalie said. "But that's okay. Sometimes people get mad when they realize they were wrong." A week later, Natalie stood in front of the Vanguard board. Marcus sat in the corner, silent, his face unreadable. She presented her vision: streamlined operations, ethical standards, a complete rebrand under the Apex umbrella. The board voted unanimously in favor. When the meeting ended, Marcus approached her. "You won," he said quietly. Natalie looked at him. "This was never about winning." "Then what was it about?" he asked. "Surviving," she said. "And I did." He nodded, something like respect in his eyes. Months later, the merger was complete. Natalie became CEO of both companies. Her face appeared in business magazines. Her name trended on social media. People called her a genius, a survivor, an inspiration. But the moment that mattered most came on a quiet Saturday morning. She sat with her kids at breakfast. Emma looked up. "Mom, are you happy?" Natalie smiled, real and soft. "Yes, sweetheart. I really am." And she meant it.